All right, so it's finally here. The box just arrived. I ordered this myself. Nobody sent it to me. No sponsor, no partner deal, just me waiting like everyone else. And after everything I said on a video number 1 about the Wave XLR Pro, about zero latency, about the harmonica problem, about the Wavecast, I finally get to find out in this video and if he actually delivers. All right, if you're new here, my name is Rodrigo and welcome to the channel. This is the video 2 of the Wave XLR Pro series, and if you haven't watched the video number 1, go ahead and you watch that one first if you wanted to. I'm gonna link right here and also on the description below. But in short version is I left actually the Go XLR, which I've been actually using for a couple of years, and I have been running the Wavelink 3.0 on a dual PC setup for a couple months. And there was one thing I could not do anymore, which was singing and playing harmonica live on streaming without a delay. And we're gonna find out if this is really going to help me, especially on my streams and content creation. Now, before we get into it, this is not a full review. What I'm going to show you is my real first reaction, how I'm connecting to my actual dual PC streaming setup, the first time I plug it in, and a few things I already found out I think you need to know before you buy. Now, the deep review will come after, and I will use a bit more, especially while you're streaming, but honestly, sometimes the first hour, the first moments tell you a lot. All right, so here we are here, the Wave XLR, the box is pretty nice. I just gonna go ahead, first time then open this to make sure and see what it comes into the box. So, I believe in the first thing that you're gonna see on the box right here, nice touch over here. This, I believe, is the cable. I believe that's only one cable that coming in, which connected to the host, which is where you're gonna connect your streaming PC. And this is USB-C to USB-C. So right here you have a cable already that come with the unit, and you have here the unit yourself. There we go. So this is the Wave XLR Pro. Very small, super small. The quality is pretty good. It has some little weight as well. That's nice. You have a 1/4 inch here thread for mount. This is pretty good for those that wanted to mount like maybe somewhere in the desk that is staying a little bit standard, or I don't know, maybe places like that. So this is pretty good. First impressions, very small unit, very nice quality, and nice that you have so many options for IOs here and in front. And I wanted to show you the difference of the Go XLR and this unit. It's just ridiculous how this is small. So this is really small. You can basically take this in any trip and use that, no problem in your backpack. This is amazing how they did. Of course, this is a different unit because here you have a faders and buttons and everything that you can manage here, but you can also do those things here on the software or using your Stream Deck, which is what Elgato use most, because you can basically map your buttons anywhere and any way you want it. So you got host right here, which you connected to a streaming PC. You have an aux that you can connect to a PS5 or your gaming PC. Then you have 2 lines over here, line in, line out. Line out, you can actually, and I'm going to test it out and I'll let you know. In my setup, I will use that to connect it to my SteelSeries Nova Pro deck. This is where I'm going to use it, and I'll let you guys know in a few if that works. But that's what I wanted to connect it, and line in if you wanted to bring it in any another audio source from anywhere else, like on a phone, on a tablet, or even a Switch 2 over here as well, or a PS5. Now we have 2 lines out for microphones over here for your headphones, not microphones, headphones, a headset. And here we got XLR 1 and 2, which is 80 dB each one, 48 volt phantom power, and you can connect both at the same time if you wanted to use it for a podcast for 2 people. In the front, you have another 2 options for out for headphones, and that is pretty much it. Everything is processed over here. I thought it would be bigger than I thought, but it's really small than you think when you held on your hand for the first time. Now, some quick important information here. If you are coming from a dual PC setup using Elgato Wavecast like I was, stop before you plug anything in. Elgato themselves recommend you uninstall Wavecast before setting up the Wave XLR Pro. The 2 systems can conflict to each other and they are both installed at the same time. So open Windows settings, go to the apps, find Wavecast, uninstall it, and restart your PC. And while you are over there, check for Wave Link updates before you plug in anything. When I connected the Wave XLR Pro for the first time, I got crackling and popping immediately. It turned out that WaveLink needs a compatibility update for the new hardware. I believe it's the 3.2 update, and take it 2 minutes to update. The crackling was absolutely gone after that. So do yourself a favor, update that first before you get into any of those issues. One more thing that I would like to share with you, which is very important: when that update's installed, it may wipe your existing WaveLink setup. So your channels, your routing, your mix level could be all gone, which is the only thing you're going to see is the Wave XLR Pro inputs on the WaveLink. I find out there's a hard way. Before you do anything, screenshot your entire WaveLink layout, every channel name, every routing, every level. 5 minutes now save you a frustrated rebuilding later. So do that as well. Now, once everything is updated, Wavecast uninstalled and WaveLink setup documented, now we're going to plug the Wave XLR Pro to the PC. So in my setup, I connected the host, which is my stream PC right here. And you can see right here, next one is the aux USB-C. I connect to my gaming PC. Disconnected the one right behind me right here. And you can probably see there's two 3.5mm cables right here. Those two right here, this one right here, which is line out, actually is going to the line in of this right here with my SteelSeries DAC Nova Pro wireless. So that way I can have a zero latency directly from Wave XLR Pro to this DAC, give me a wireless connection with the SteelSeries Nova Pro. Also, this right here, as you can see, there's also a ground loop, which is connecting line in. This is the line in right here because this is connected to my switch to console. That means I bring my switch to console audio right here. That way I can use my microphone from Wave XLR Pro to any game that require in-game chat on a switch too. And I also one XLR right here, which is the microphone that you are hearing right now. So all this video that you're hearing in this video is actually using Wave XLR Pro. Now, once you plug it in, the Wave XLR Pro to your streaming PC or to the host PC that you're going to be using, WaveLink 3.0 will detect it immediately and launches a setup tour. So in here, you will have a auto gain wizard, which is super helpful if you don't know what gain you needed, because by following this auto setup, it will give you the right gain for your mic. Then you will have the headphone output setup as well, so you can go through it. And in my opinion, this onboarding is clean and helpful if you are brand new to this. You are able to set up this very quickly in just a few minutes. Now, one quick thing for everyone connecting a gaming PC via the aux right here that I connected is that you may going to hear a high-pitched noise or degraded quality coming from the gaming PC. Now, check this first. In WaveLink, find your aux input channel and check if your voice focus is enabled and turn that off. That was the fix for me, and I don't know why it was turned on automatically. It's supposed to be turned off automatically, but check that because multiple other users also get this on the launch day for Wave XLR Pro on WaveLink 3.0, which means that this is having nothing to do with your cable or your PC. Just voice focus accidentally enabled on the wrong channel. So the connection setup is basically this: streaming PC going to the host port. This is where WaveLink lives and where you control everything. Now for the gaming PC, as I mentioned, I use the aux port, which audio routes between them automatically. So I can send my microphone and receiving the gaming PC audio to WaveLink 0.0 and my streaming PC. Now the aux port is one connection at a time. So if I wanted to connect my PS5, I have to unplug the gaming PC from aux and plug the console in. PS5 usually connected via USB-C to USB-A into the aux port on the Wave XLR Pro. WaveLink picks up as a source your raw mic audio back through the chat mix, so party chat can work. So basically you can actually send your microphone directly to PS5 with this connection and use any game in-game chat as Arc Raiders, for example, or any other party chat on PS5. Now for the Switch 2, this one is a little bit different. Nintendo restricted USB-C audio output on the Switch 2, so plugging in directly into the aux port via USB-C does not work. But there's a very simple way to fix that. You take the 3.5mm cable from the Switch 2 headphone jack and plug into the line-in port on the Wave XLR Pro, which I did right here. However, one thing I need to let you know, when I first connected, I got a buzz noise, that means there's a ground loop. It is common when connecting a battery power device like the Switch 2 into a USB power interface. This is a fix for that, is getting a ground loop like this one right here. And I'm gonna put exactly this one that I'm using on the link description below. It's very cheap, it's about $10 to $15 on Amazon. Once I add it, and the end of the Wave XLR Pro, which you can see right here is connected right in the Wave XLR Pro, all the buzz is gone, audio is super clean, no delay, it works great. So PS5 USB-C into aux and switch it to 3.5mm into the Lightning on the ground loop isolator. Both are covered and both working. So with those two connections on PS5 and a game PC and a Switch 2, you can basically connect 3 devices at once. You can connect the Switch 2 on the aux right here on the analog 3.5mm jack. You can connect your PS5 on the aux port USB-C and your streaming PC on what you're gonna be streaming. So you can use those as well, but I will going to drop more dedicated setup tutorial video on the next video of the Wave XLR Pro, which I'm gonna also link on here on the description when it drops. Okay, so this is the section why this series exists. In video 1, I told you that since leaving the Go XLR, I could not play harmonica or sing live on stream anymore. Wavelink 3.0 software processing introduced enough delay that everything was completely off. That was one thing I could not replace. But while using my mic with a hardware DSP on a low cut, expander, EQ, compressor, and using a wire headphone into the front of the Wave XLR Pro, I completely got zero instantly, no delay, no echo. This was exactly what I was missing since I left the Go XLR. But here's what I found that nobody else published. The headphone connection matters more than which effects you use it. You see, when I plug in the wire right here, headphones directly into the jack of the Wave XLR Pro, the monitor signals stay entirely inside the hardware. I never touches Windows audio, meaning zero latency. Even with the VST and reverb, which I have, I can sing with reverb. I'm testing if I can sing like this. I'm testing. I can play harmonic with reverb. Just like with the Go XLR, so that was actually confirmed. Now watch what happens when I switch to the Game Buds wireless connected via USB dongle to my PC. And yes, the latency is back. Same effects, same device, different headphone connections. The signal is now passing through Windows audio, and that's where the delay comes from. This is a Windows architecture thing, not a Wave XLR Pro problem. So the answer is simple. For live performance, wire headphones into the front jack, or if you use a wireless headset with its own DAC like my Nova Pro. Connect it via to the line out port, which will give you the same result, zero latency monitor like the Go XLR. Alright, one more thing, and this is actually I haven't seen anyone else to show. I wanted to use my DJI Mic Mini receiver in the second XLR input. So I have a full wireless mic running through the same hardware DSP chain as my SM7B. But the first attempted the 3.5mm to basic XLR adapter into input 2, I will get crackling and static immediately. The DJI receiver outputs a line level, and the XLR input expect mic level. So it's too much gain on the top of the signal that's already full straight, classic level mismatch. So the Lightning port works, clean audio, no static, but you lose the DSP processing. So the real fix for using the DJI Mic Mini into the Wave XLR Pro will be to get a Rode XLR Pro. About $49 is an impedance converter that properly matches the DJI's line level output to what the XLR mic input expects. Plug it straight in, full DSP chain, no crackling, and I will link in that product also in the description below if you need to get for your DJI Mic Mini using the Wave XLR Pro. Now for streamers and co-host, podcast guests, or anyone who moves around, this 2 mic setup from the $355 device is generally useful. just get the Rode VXLR Pro to make it work right. So this is really a good setup for those that would like to use that way. So before I give you my first impressions on the audio quality, I wanted to point that out that everything you have been hearing in this video, my voice right now, this entire video has been recording through the Wave XLR Pro with my Shure SM7B. Now the SM7B is a hungry mic. It needs a lot of gain so to sound completely right. The Wave XLR Pro has a 80 dB of gain in both XLR inputs, so no cloud lifter needed, just plug it in and go. Just make sure that the 48 volts are turned off when you're using a dynamic microphone, but if you're using any condenser microphones, then you can use the 48 volt if you need it. And as you can hear, it is super clean. So my first honest impression on the Wave XLR Pro, it sounds better than my previous setup. The hardware DSP change feels cleaner and more directly than Wavelink processing in the software. But I'm not going to make my final call on audio quality from the 1 day or 2 days that I have the device. This will be on a third video that I'm going to work on with more details, where I will have a more like a time with the Wave XLR Pro. Now I went through some all launch day comments because a lot of the question was left unanswered. So here are some quick ones. Ground loop in hum 0, runs entirely off USB-C. No external power brick, no ground issues, super clean. For Xbox Series X and S, I don't have the Xbox, so I cannot personally test this. But from what I have been seeing in Elgato Discord and multiple users report to aux port does not work with the Xbox. If you are Xbox and you try it, drop it in the comments below. I genuinely would like to know. Now for Mac support, I'm actually on a Windows, so I can't confirm the Mac experience myself. Wavelink 3.0 is listed as Mac compatible on Elgato's website, but if you are on Mac and you have tried it with the Wave XLR Pro, let me know also on the comments how you went. Now about the Wavelink 3.2 stability, I have seen a lot of worried comments about crashes and bugs. Honest answer, launch week was rough for some people. I personally had stable experience after the initial update and rebuild. Keep checking for patches because Elgato is actually fixing these things. I know this is a very annoying kind of thing, and Elgato sometimes have this that all the new stuff they launch with have always bug. But in my personal experience, since I set up and everything, I didn't have any issues after I have to rebuild my Wavelink 3.0. So that's the Wave XLR Pro. First, in honest impressions from someone who bought this product. So here's the short version. Hardware DSP zero latency, confirm. Wavecast, gone, replaced natively and feels better. Dual PC, PS5, Switch 2, all working fine. The live performance experience in singing harmonica reverb is back, and I'm very happy with that. You just need wire headphones into the front jack or line out to your DAC. There's the key nobody else told you. Talking about the bugs, update Wavelink before you connected the Wave XLR Pro. Back up your setup first by screenshot your Wavelink before you connect the Wave XLR Pro, and turn off voice focus on your aux channel if you hear a weird audio from your gaming PC. Those three things will save you a frustrating afternoon setting up the Wave XLR Pro. Video 3 is the full review. Proper time with the device, full stream tested, compressor deep dive, real verdict, and either $350 is worth. And if this video helped you, drop a like and let me know on the comments what setup are you come from. Are you a wire or wireless headphone person? That answer matters more than you think for this device, and I do read every single one. Thank you so much again for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.